episode 30, from then to now, the TEW 2020 save, where we take the World Wrestling Federation from 1992 all the way to modern day. If you like this stuff, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, because only around half of you that watch these videos are subscribed. So, we know we can do better than that. But, so what are we doing in this episode? We have got Superstars after King of the Ring. We've got one episode of Saturday Night's main event in between now and SummerSlam. So, could be fun. Last episode was King of the Ring, main evented by Hogan versus The Undertaker. Had Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart steal the show. And the British Bulldog is your new King of the Ring. But with all of that said, let's get into King of the Ring. Well, Superstars. Week 1 of July, 1992. We're in Maryland for this show. Baltimore. The Baltimore Arena holds 12,000. We should sell this out. Something I'm pretty excited to do. Nice good sellout. Mid-Atlantic. We've not been here since we were at the Greensboro Coliseum in April for Saturday Night's Main Event 30. So let's get right into this show. And ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest of tonight is a boot camp elimination match. At this time, I introduce Sargent Slaughter, who will explain. And my explanation to you is, this was supposed to happen last week, but we were in Japan and that would have bombed our rating awfully. So, Slaughter comes out with Oakland, and he announces Morley versus Riggs. You can see on your screen the scores over the 3 rounds, and it does put Sean Morley and Scotty Riggs at the bottom. So they're going to go straight into the elimination match right now. And it is Riggs who picks up the win. Have I put the right match on? Yeah, no. It is Riggs who picks up the win, beating Sean Morley with an Ameriplex. Gets a 34 rating with Slaughter at ringside to help it. Morley managed to survive the first elimination match at Saturday Night's Main Event. He couldn't survive the second. He is gone. Scotty Riggs stays. Although that does lead the issue is now there's 4 people in Block A, only 2 in Block B. So, Sergeant Slaughter fixes this, and we are moving Jeff Jarrett from Block A into Block B. Gets a 77 rating, not too shabby. Next up, we've got the Horsemen in their dressing room. Shawn Michaels sat there with his Intercontinental Championship over his shoulder. JJ Dillon chatting to the camera, and it's not really a story-based segment. It's just it's them sort of just milling around and giving them a life outside of the actual ring. It's a lavish dressing room. Got a banquet. We've got a few ladies coming in. Well, actually, no, we'll imagine like the camera shot shows the ladies leaving straight away. But yeah, Michaels, and it's just all of them basically just gloating. Goon in a match, they are going up against the Bushwhackers, and it's the Fuji-Gun team who pick up the win, with Satoshi Kojima pinning Butch with the sit-out spinebuster. Basically, yeah, we're just trying to boost these guys up, because in ring 47 and 42, not bad for a lower card tag team. Pop, we need to boost. So wins against teams like the Bushwhackers will help. 35 rating though, not too bad. After the match, Fuji-Gun get into a brawl with Hulk Hogan, High Voltage, and the Ultimate Warrior. Hogan and the Warrior come out together with High Voltage, and they get into a big 4-on-4 brawl. And I'm telling you this right now. Next week, we're going to get Fuji-Gun versus this babyface assorted team, which you see right now. Hogan Hart, Beware and Warrior versus Yokozuna, Kojima, Ogawa and Nord. I think it's next week. It's either next week or the week after. We then cut to an in-ring interview with Shawn Michaels. And he is interrupted by Bret Hart, the Mountie, and the British Bulldog. Bulldog has already said at SummerSlam he is going to be facing Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental Championship. He doesn't want all of the king paraphernalia. There is only one monarch, and that is Her Majesty the Queen. And so Bret and Mountie are pretty much arguing. Bret thinks Shawn kind of screwed him out of the title. Mountie feels like Shawn screwed him out of the title multiple times. Bulldog's already got a shot, so he's kind of going to... And basically we get set up a tag team match for later tonight. Michaels and the Mountie versus Bret and Bulldog. Gets a 93 rated. Good segment. The Miracle Violence Connection versus the Head Shrinkers here. As Dr. Death Steve Williams pick up the win when they pin Samu with the Doctor Bomb. You know, Miracle Violence Connection, they've lost the tag titles. I don't want them going onto a bit of a downward spiral. I want them to still be presented as a threat. But essentially, well, now we're getting into the point where Miracle Violence Connection were the team planned to be in this storyline. Because up until this point, it was supposed to be Money Inc. Money Inc. was supposed to retain the titles in a triple threat at Mania. Money Inc. was supposed to keep going throughout, defend against both teams, end up defending against High Voltage, returning, and then lose them to the Road Warriors, the team which they'd beaten. That was what the story was supposed to be. So that story is all going ahead as planned with the Road Warriors. But this is the point where Miracle Violence Connection actually get to have the story they were scheduled to have when I brought them in. And well, we'll get to that. It gets a 72 rating. High Voltage backstage with Mike McGurk, probably. That she's kind of been the person associated with these segments. And it's them asking, what the hell did they do to get Fuji-Gun on their backs? Like, Yokozuna had only debuted a few weeks before Mania. John Nord, the Berserker, we've never had any issue with him. Don't quite get it. But yet they decided to attack us backstage at WrestleMania and pretend to be fans coming in. Clever, I'll give you that. But no, we're not having it. At SummerSlam, it's going to be us, Owen Hart and Koko Beware, against Satoshi Kojima and Yoshinari Ogawa. I've seen you both before. I've worked in Japan. Owen's talking, of course. I've seen what you can do. I've seen the dojos you guys came through. You guys live and breathe wrestling. I'm from the Hart Dungeon. You can't threaten me with your training. I've been stretched like a pretzel since I was 6. And Coco's not had it easy. He is a black man in the wrestling industry. What did you expect? We have active members of the KKK walking around here in the past. Do you really think it's easy? Do you really think the training we've had is easy compared to the training you've had? No. You got gifted homes. You got gifted a life. And then look, you came out the other side and your companies decided they didn't want you. So you had to go to this cheapskate that is Mr. Fuji to try and get your careers on the back. That's what this is. This has nothing to do with your training, our training. This has nothing to do with any slight which you've thought that we might have given you. I'm sorry if when I was in Japan I gave you any slight which you thought, but that's not what this is about. This is due to the fact that your careers went out the window when you were let go by those companies which trained you since you were a child. And you're trying to make your careers on our names. And that ain't gonna happen. So at SummerSlam, in the UK, at Wembley Stadium, we are going to put you down. And we are going to show everyone exactly why those companies were right to get rid of you wastes of space. You know, I think the promo I gave was definitely better than a 55, but the game's going to be a game. Ric Flair is backstage with JJ Dillon, and The Undertaker comes in. These two haven't really interacted, but The Undertaker inadvertently helped Flair at the weekend, although it didn't say so in the game. But in the story, he did. And The Undertaker says to Flair, "Rick, you're a dirty player. You have made many enemies, some of which I share with you. Others, well, it's always fun to dig up somebody's past and let the ghosts haunt them. You'll be here soon, don't worry, Rick. And he ain't after me." Basically, we're teasing a debut. It's somebody from Ric Flair's past, who basically their contract came up and I decided to steal it. They weren't in WWF at this time, so that's your clue you're getting. And The Undertaker, I think, is the perfect person to give a "be careful, your past will come back and haunt you" message. Gets a 100 rating. Cactus Jack gets a quick victory over El Matador, gets an 817, double arm DDT, 68 overall, 67 for Cactus, 52 for El Matador. You know, in a normal save, I'd say Cactus Jack is roughly Intercontinental title level right now. But this is an Intercontinental title picture which is currently outworking our main event scene, with Bret Hart, the Mountie, Shawn Michaels, Bulldog. I don't think a 67 is going to cut it, I'm afraid, Cactus. So we'll keep, maybe we need a TV title. Or a tertiary title. Give me ideas in the comments down below for a tertiary title, singles men's title we could introduce to try and give some of these undercard guys something to fight for, because they're not going to get in the Intercontinental title picture. And as the game keeps getting further in, that title picture is going to get better and better. And we're going to want to keep refreshing this undercard. We get a promo from Bob Backlund, having settled his scores from over almost a decade earlier, and put down the Iron Sheik. Backlund's just sat in a room staring at a camera. You know, in a couple of months, this country's going to go to the polls. And they're going to decide if they want to keep President Bush for another term. Or if they want to bring in Democrat Clinton. You know, I look at those two there and I don't see the future of this country. What this country needs is an all-American, collegiate level wrestler. What this country needs is Bob Backlund. So vote Bob Backlund for president, 1992. Gets a 56 rating, as we're starting to go down the Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund was brought in initially just because Iron Sheik told me he was retiring and I wanted a fitting story to end the Sheik's career. So I brought Backlund in, and now we are going to drift that into the crazy Backlund and the President Backlund character. That'll be fun. Gets a 56 rating. We get a little vignette here of somebody else whose contract came up down south. It's just a open top car, just driving along, and the car just pulls over, and the camera just cuts to a close shot at the side of the car, and you just see the hand chucking a toothpick away. Lights turns green, and the car drives off, and the words "coming soon" plays over the screen. Razor Ramon's coming in. Quick victory, lost in the finals of the King of the Ring. Decided to give him a little bit of something here. Gets a 46 victory, a quick squash over Bob Bradley. As we try and get Kama up. A similar situation to the Cactus Jack I was saying earlier. Needs to be a little bit better to get into that IC title picture. We then get Hogan and Warrior together, and they are joined by High Voltage. And basically, we are told that this is a tape from earlier in the night. And it is Hogan challenging Fuji-Gun to the 8-man tag, which I mentioned last week. But basically, I'm just using these high promo segments throughout the show to try and boost our overall rating, because it's a game. I'm playing the game. The Road Warriors feel the rush. And it's them saying, look, we told you we were going to be the champs again. Miracle Bias Question, they are two tough sons of bitches. But they're not the Road Warriors. They're not the Legion of Doom. We are going to walk the rest of this journey as the champions. And eventually, we will drop these titles. Because we'll have decided we've had enough. Give it 10 years or so, I'd say. It's a 72 rating. We haven't actually set up their opponents yet, but we have set up them as champs. And our main event gets a 74. As it's a draw with a double count out because I didn't want to pin anyone in this match. Which is hilarious because the Mountie is in this match. I've made the Mountie to a point where I want to protect him in a match with Bret Hart, the British Bulldog, and Shawn Michaels. I think I've done well with the Mountie. 74 rating though. And suddenly, the Undertaker jumps over as they're giving the farewells. The Undertaker jumps over the guardrail and starts beating down Randy Savage. Hogan runs out, makes the save. Monsoon and Heenan stay out of it. Heenan's obviously accusing Hogan of organising this attack to make himself look good because he's Heenan. He's always going to be throwing shade at Hogan. That's why Bash at the Beach 96 isn't a spoiler, because it's Heenan's character for a decade earlier. But it's a 100 rating, and basically Hogan grabs the mic and just shouts at The Undertaker, basically saying, what is your problem? You lost. Fair and square. And if you really think this is how you get another shot, not a chance. Okay? Undertaker, there is nothing which you could do to give me another shot. But I want to fight you again. But I'm not giving you a title shot. You do not deserve another title shot because you lost fair and square. And I'm defending this title at SummerSlam against the monster Yokozuna. Okay? So find yourself a tag team partner. I'll find myself a tag team partner. And at Saturday night's main event, we will settle this. And if I beat you, you cannot challenge again for 2 years. You will stay out of it. Actually, no, 2 years, no. If I win, you cannot challenge for the WWF Championship for as long as I'm in this company. Simple as that. I want my hands on you. But, hey, if you beat me, I'll give you a shot on Superstars after Saturday night's main event. And then you can go on and face the Monster Yokozuna if you beat me then. But you're not going to beat me, are you, Mark? Are you, Undertaker? You don't stand a chance. And you're never going to hold this again. And it is a 85 rated show. Pretty good. Increases up in most regions. 25 regions are not too bad. But what did you guys think of the show? Including the 2 promos which I put in. They were fun to script. Even if I did go a bit off script inside. But what's more important is what you guys thought. Let me know in the comments down below. And well, make sure to like and subscribe for more TEW content. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!